So, dear students, moving further to my previous lecture on metamorphosis. Here, this is the metamorphosis in insect part 2. The second type of metamorphosis is the gradual metamorphosis or paurometabolous development. In this type of metamorphosis, which is seen in less primitive forms like the cockroaches, grasshoppers, mantis and white ants, the newly young which comes out of the egg, it closely resembles the adult in general body form, habits and habitat. But many adult features, that is wings and reproductive organs, are undeveloped and the relative proportions of the body also differ. The young ones are called nymphs. The wings develop as wing pads in the second and third thoracic segments at early stage and gradually increase in size by mitosis in each moult. So the wing development is an additional characteristic in this type of metamorphosis as compared to the previous one. The wings here develop as wing pads in the second and third thoracic segments, which are then actually the thoracic segments and which are the wing bearing segments, which are termed as the pterothorax. P-T-E-R-A, again the wing, so pterothorax. The external genitalia develop gradually at each moult, and these nymphs lead an independent life and attain adult form through several moults. This type of metamorphosis is called gradual metamorphosis or paurometabolous development because the young undergoes a slow but steady change in each moult and attains the adult form. Sometimes the gradual metamorphosis is included under hemimetabolous development. In each moult, the proportion of the head gradually becomes smaller and abdomen becomes longer. In the life cycle of these insects, there are three stages: egg, nymph and adult, which is also termed as imago. And then there is no pupal stage. Now here, this is the life cycle of a grasshopper, and in the other figure, that's the life cycle of a cockroach. You can see here the egg, nymph and adult. The nymph doesn't have wing, it has just small wing pads, and then the development of the wings starts later on. Similarly, the life cycle of cockroach, where the adults bear wings and the egg, from the egg hatches the nymph. The nymph does resemble the adult in except for the size, the reproductive organs, and in addition that they don't have wings. Incomplete metamorphosis or hemimetabolous development, the insects which attain adult forms by gradual morphological changes with successive moults are called incomplete metamorphosis or hemimetabolous development. In many insects like the dragonflies, the mayflies, the damselflies, the different stages of life cycle resemble to paurometabolous development, except that the nymphs are called naiads, which are aquatic. Now these are also nymphs, but just because these are found in water, they are aquatic and respire by external gills, but the adults are terrestrial. So there is a drastic difference in the habitat. So because that's the habitat is totally different. They are aquatic forms. The young ones are aquatic forms, and because they are aquatic, they have additional structures like specifically for respiration, they have the external gills. But because the adults turn terrestrial, the external gills are lost because they are not the necessary organs for life on land. When these nymphs are ready to be adult, they come out of water and adult wing forms are released. The wings and genitalia develop externally but are not fully formed until adulthood. No further molting takes place after the formation of wings, only exception in mayfly where winged form comes out of aquatic nymph and rests on a tree to undergo another molting to become an adult. Except in the mayfly, the rest in all other forms, that is the dragon and damselflies, no further molting takes place once the wings are formed. In the naiads of hemimetabolous insects, there are three pairs of thoracic legs, a head with compound eyes, antennae, and small abdomen with posterior tracheal gills. The naiads, when attain adult stage after several moults, the head of the adult becomes proportionately smaller, but the abdomen becomes larger. The tracheal gills are lost and spiracles appear for aerial breathing. Many insects live for longer period as nymphs and the adult stage is short, the chief purpose of which is multiplication. The best example is the mayfly where adult stage lasts only for a day but nymphs take 1 year to grow. So just see the drastic thing that the mayfly, the adult is only for 1 day, single day life, but nymphs take 1 year to grow. So this is a dragonfly, the egg, the nymph for the naiad and the adult. Actually, it's not the nymph, this is termed as a naiad. Thank you. So these are the different stages of the metamorphosis for this, and there would be one more additional metamorphosis part 3 which I would be discussing in the next lecture. Thank you.